Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and I know I'm a little behind with this review, and let me just explain, but before I explain, this is going to be my review for the 100 Season 1, Episode 1, the pilot. Now, the reason that I'm putting out this review now is because I didn't actually watch the pilot till now. In that time, there's been 2 episodes that have aired. I decided I'd do 2 separate reviews of both episodes, so that way I can tell you what I thought of each one of them individually. And, that's what I'll do. So, I'll talk about both of them. And, yeah. So, I was really looking forward to this show. I really liked the premise of it. I liked, I thought it'd be a more mature show for the CW. That's how they advertise it. And I have to say, while it is a good show, and I do like the premise of it, there are some things they definitely need to fix with the show. It's definitely not the most mature show that the CW has put out, and overall, though, it still was really good. So the basic plot of The 100 is that it's been 97 years since a nuclear apocalypse has wiped out Earth, and their survivors now live in space stations. Now, the juvenile offenders, as they call them, basically the teenagers, they call them the juveniles, they're locked in a special space station known as the Skybox on the Ark. And there are 100 chosen who are sent to the ground, which, that's what remains of Earth. And we follow our main character, Clark, who is one of the chosen. She's the daughter of Abby, who's the chief medical officer of the Ark. So she is sent there, and we kind of follow her. She's our main character on the show. She can narrate the beginning to, explain all that to us. And then they go to Earth. During their trip, though, the rocket malfunctions with the 100 chosen on board. Those on board include Clark's friend Wells, brother and sister duo Bellamy and Octavia, and Finn and Jasper. Those are the ones that, those are the characters that we follow on this show. Those characters. When the rocket makes it to Earth, all 100 are forced to basically fend for themselves without rules, parents, and supervision. Now, the one thing that I didn't like about this is as soon as they get to Earth, the Earth is supposed to be in, really bad condition. But whenever they're there, they start to party. I'm like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Why are you... This should not be that kind of show. It's supposed to be a post-apocalyptic type of show, and you're doing a party thing. It's honestly really silly, and that was one of the problems I definitely had with the show. But basically, eventually, once they're done with that, which I found extremely unnecessary, the group must head to Mount Weather for food and supplies, which is 20 miles away, but all the communication systems are down, and Wells is trying to emerge as a leader, as Bellamy tells Octavia he did something sketchy to get on the ship. By the way, the one that plays Octavia is super, super hot, seriously, definitely. This is the CW, so basically everyone's hot. That's what the CW is. So definitely, it's great that she's also a really good character, though, too. She kind of seems very rebellious, too, because she kind of, doesn't listen to what people say, so it's gonna be interesting to see her character. So then Clark, Finn, Octavian, Jasper, and Monty head out to Mount Weather, and Finn tried tampering with his wristband. Basically, let me explain the wristband. It is the only way that their parents know that they're alive. If they were to take off their wristbands, it would make their parents think they are dead, which definitely is very interesting. And he's trying to take off his wristband, and it tracks and measures their vital signs. And it turns out that Wells is the son of the Chancellor and isn't making any friends on Earth amongst the 100. And Bellamy tries to get others to take off their wristbands so the Ark can't track them. Clark is basically telling him, why are you telling people to do this? Do you care about your parents? Do you want to live? That was definitely a very big scene. I enjoyed that. So then we go back on the Ark, and there's news that 2 of the 100 died during landing. Clark's mom, Abby, gets the news that Chancellor Jaha has been shot by Bellamy. So that's definitely pretty interesting. And Clark tells the group that the Ark is dying and there's only maybe 4 months left of life support. And this info is exactly what killed Clark's father. We find that out right here. And then, here's where the episode starts to get intense, because Octavia actually decides to jump in a random lake and gets attacked You know, she's jumping into a ram lake. They're telling her, don't go into the lake. There shouldn't be a lake here. It's very sketchy to them as to why there's a lake here. They're not really sure why it's there. But, she actually ends up getting attacked, and Jasper, luckily, though, saves her, but she has a very nasty gash on her leg. First violent scene of the episode was that scene right there. And, yeah, so definitely pretty interesting. And in the meantime, Bellamy is declaring to Wells that there are no laws and begins removing wristbands as the rain pours down on the group. So yeah, they're basically just gonna just be very, it seems like they're gonna be very rebellious on this show, definitely. That's what it seems like, they're gonna be. So, on the Ark, Abby gets arrested for, using too much blood to help Jaha, and she's at odds with a temporary, Chancellor Kane, who is taking over while Jaha recovers from surgery. Kane arrested Abby's late husband and got her daughter Clark sent to Earth, and Abby is sentenced to death for her crime. So, this was just really intense. Everything started to get really intense here. But then back on Earth, we have Clark and Finn, who I guess they're going to be sort of our main romantic pairing here. However, we do kind of have a love triangle because also Octavia likes Finn, so we're kind of going to have a chance. I guess it's going to be Clark, Finn, Octavia love triangle. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. But that's the one thing that I think this show doesn't need, is a love triangle. Why are you trying to be like all the other CW shows? I can think of a few CW shows that doesn't do, you know, every CW show basically does that, and I think that's why people get turned off by the CW, and this could be a really great show if it wasn't so dumb. You know, there are some really dumb scenes where they're, like, drinking and partying, and I'm just like, you're on a post-apocalyptic Earth. How are you finding these things? Why do you care about these things? Yes, I know they're teenagers, but they're supposed to be fighting for their lives here, and it's really bad. So they're bonding, and the Earth is polluted with radiation, and the plants, because that's happening, the plants are starting to glow in the dark. So on the Ark, Cece is, who is Abby's best friend. She's trying to persuade Kane to revoke his decision to execute Abby, but he basically said that he has to do it, and there's nothing she can do to stop him, and that's what he's going to do. And then here we get a very interesting scene after this. Wells gets attacked by Bellamy, who I'm guessing Bellamy is going to be like the big villain on the show. It seems like he's going to cause a lot of trouble for them. So I'm thinking Bellamy's really the bad one. Bellamy has a gun. He wants Wells to remove his wristband, but Wells declines and gets beat up instead. You know, he tells him, I'm not doing this. I'm going to do what's best for all of us, and I'm not removing this wristband. So then on Abby's execution day, she's saved, and, you know, it looks like she's about to get executed, but she's actually saved and is given a pardon by Jaha, who makes it clear that he is still in charge, and basically he's in charge. No one can stop him. So I really, I enjoyed that. I definitely really enjoyed, that scene. That was definitely very interesting. You know, I really enjoyed that she wasn't, kidnapped. And then we get the very end, which gives us, the most shocking scene of the episode. Basically, here, they're just trying to have some fun, it looks like. Every time, though, they have fun on this show, something bad happens. Because Jasper is ziplining Tarzan style, and he finds the place that they need to go. He finds a sign that says Mount Weather. And it seems like the episode is just going to end here with them finding their destination. However, Jasper is actually impaled with a spear. So, and then they all say that, we're not alone. So, obviously, there's someone there with them. So we don't know who's there or why they're there, but there's obviously someone there who is no good, and they're trying to kill them, and it definitely sets up for a very tense show. This I really liked. I really liked the way it ended, because it really set up for a very tense show, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what else is going to happen on the show, because I was really I really enjoyed the pilot. The first half, I was kind of like, this is okay, but the second half, things really started to pick up. I really enjoyed the second half a lot. The only problem I think this show does have is, as I said, they have rebellious teenagers on here just being rebellious teenagers, you know, like partying and things like that. And if that's going to be the show, I'm not really going to be into that. The performances on this show, though, are quite strong. You know, our main character, Clark, definitely seems like she's a very good main character. She's really one of the only ones on this show who, you know, knows how to survive and wants to do whatever she can to survive. The other ones are kind of just rebellious. Like Octavia, as I said, her character, very rebellious, doesn't really listen to what the group says. You know, Clark knows what's going on. She knows, and that's partially because her father, as we said, died. Died, so she kind of doesn't want the same thing to happen to them. But my big question here is Jasper dead? We're not really sure, but I will definitely continue to watch this show. I am going to watch episode 2, so I'm going to watch episode 2, and then I'm going to review it to you, and I will see you guys for that. So I will see you guys for my review of episode 2, but let me know what you guys saw of this show. What about the love triangle? I feel like the love triangle is kind of stupid. I enjoy, you know, where the show is going with that, but I just find it's kind of stupid that they're doing these sort of things on a show like this. I feel like it could be a darker show, and I feel like that's definitely what they're saying it up to be. Like, I heard episode 2 is actually a lot better than episode 1, so I'm gonna go watch episode 2, and then I will review it to you. So I will see you guys for my review of, episode 2 of the 100, which, by the way, it's the 100, not the 100. So I will see you guys for my review of that. Okay, bye.